Hi everyone, it's Kaylin, the Dual Programs Coordinator here at Illinois Tech. In this video, you'll get a brief rundown of our dual admission BSDO options. BSDO means Bachelor of Science and Doctorate of Osteopathic Medicine. We are partnered with Midwestern University Chicago College of Osteopathic Medicine, also known as LECOM, and Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, referred to as LECOM. For both of these programs, you would receive your Bachelor of Science here at Illinois Tech and your Doctorate of Osteopathic Medicine at either Midwestern or LECOM. You are able to apply to both dual programs. Another thing to note with all of our dual programs is that you need to be accepted by Illinois Tech and our partner school, whether that's Midwestern or LECOM, in order to be fully admitted to the dual admission program. Now let's jump right in. For Midwestern, the deadline to apply is December 1st of your senior year in high school. This is available to domestic and international students. It is a 4+4 program, meaning you will stay at Illinois Tech for 4 years and then Midwestern for 4 years getting your degree. If you are to graduate from Illinois Tech early, you would still start at Midwestern after that 4-year period. In regards to the application requirements, you need to submit your common application to Illinois Tech for general admission, and then also your supplemental application. The important thing to note is that we must receive all documents required for the application process by December 1st. Within the supplemental application, you will answer 2 essay questions. These essay questions are basically asking why you're interested in osteopathic medicine and why you're interested in our dual program. We also require 3 letters of recommendation. 1 needs to come from a math or science teacher, 1 needs to come from humanities or social sciences. So this could be a Spanish teacher, a psychology teacher, a history teacher, English, etc. And the last one needs to be medically related. Some examples could be that if you volunteered at a hospital, you have the volunteer coordinator write a letter of recommendation. If you shadowed a physician, they could write a letter of recommendation. If you completed medically related research at a university, someone on the research team can write a letter of recommendation. If you are using these letters for your Common App, you can reuse them for the Midwestern BSDO application. Please indicate that when you're completing the supplemental application. If you have questions though, feel free to reach out and we'll make sure those letters get to the right place. You do need to have at least a weighted 3.5 out of a 4.0 to be considered. If you are taking the ACT, then that needs to be at least a 32. If you're taking the SAT, it needs to be at least a 1400 composite score. Illinois Tech does super score, so if you've taken the exam multiple times, we will look at the highest score, but they do need to be a minimum of the scores I mentioned before. The last thing to note is that if your high school does rank you, you would want to be in the top 10% of your high school. If your high school does not rank, don't worry. Now let's talk about LECOM. LECOM's deadline to apply is March 1st. It's available to seniors in high school as well as undergraduate students who can participate in the program for 2 or more consecutive years while attending Illinois Tech full-time. This would be open for transfer students that are applying to Illinois Tech. This is a 4+4 program as well, and it is only available to U.S. citizens or permanent residents. Admission is binding for LECOM. The important thing to note is that when the admission is binding with LECOM is that after you decide to attend LECOM and notify them, if you were to apply to medical schools later on while you're an Illinois Tech student, you would lose your guaranteed seat. That means that you can still apply for LECOM, but if you choose to apply to other schools, that's the big thing about a binding admission is that you would lose your guaranteed seat. With Midwestern, it is non-binding. So if you apply to other medical schools as an Illinois Tech student, that is okay. Your seat will still be saved as long as you meet the program requirements, which we'll talk about a little bit later. In regards to the application requirements for LECOM, we also need the common application to Illinois Tech, and then you will submit LECOM supplemental application through their website. Illinois Tech does not see the LECOM application. So if you need updates on your application status, you'll want to contact LECOM directly. In order to be considered for the program, you need to have a 3.5 out of a 4.0 weighted GPA. And then if you're taking the ACT, we need to see at least a 30. And if you're taking the SAT, you need to have a 1330 composite score. Now let's talk about the timelines for these programs. For Midwestern, the application deadline again is December 1st. As a reminder, we need to receive all documents by December 1st. In early January, the pre-health committee will be reviewing applicants and the dual programs coordinator will notify students that have been sent to Midwestern or denied from the program. In mid-January, Midwestern will be reviewing all applications and will contact students selected for the interview. In early February, students will participate in an interview. It is a group interview and there is a writing exam that happens all at Midwestern. In early March is when you'll be notified of your final decision of if you've been accepted to the dual program. In order to remain in the program, you need to maintain a 3.5 GPA. Your MCAT score needs to be within 1 standard deviation of the previous year's class, and you are encouraged to complete the pre-medical studies minor to be prepared for the MCAT. However, it is not required. Now let's talk about LECOM. LECOM's deadline to apply again is March 1st. The process is a bit more ongoing. So as students apply to LECOM, they will be reaching out to conduct an interview. After you've been interviewed, you'll be notified if you're accepted to the program. LECOM then notifies us of all accepted students, and we will be reviewing your application for admission purposes. I'll notify you when you're being reviewed, as well as your final decision. So the important thing to note is that with these timelines, for the Midwestern program, Illinois Tech accepts you to the dual program before Midwestern, while LECOM accepts you to the program before we do. Important to note, as I mentioned earlier, is that you need acceptance from both schools before you are officially admitted to the dual program. For LECOM, the requirements to remain in the program, you need to maintain a 3.4 GPA, complete the minor in pre-medical studies, as well as score in the 70th percentile on the MCAT. And that's everything you need to know about the dual admission BSDO programs. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to answer those. Thanks for watching.